All right, this week we're actually going to focus on predicting with our reading. So we're going to use different, I suppose, clues to inform our predictions. Okay. Now the clues that we're going to inform our predictions are going to be pictures. Okay, so we can predict something's going to happen based on some pictures. The title. So we're going to use the title. So today we're going to look at Macca's Christmas crackers. We're going to look at that title and go, okay, this is what I think will happen because of what the title says. When you're reading, you can look at the blurb. So you can go back there and have a look at the blurb and go, okay, so I reckon this is what could possibly happen. And then while we're reading, so this goes on from the last week's learning of events in stories, we can predict what's going to happen based on an event. Okay, so last week we did those events, and that's why we're doing predicting this week, because we can use events to predict. Because we go, oh, because this happened, I think that this will happen now. Okay, so this week's going to be all focused on predicting. There's going to be a couple of little questions here and there as well, so possible lessons learned and things like that. But the main focus is on predicting and then having a look at how we went and how we predicted. But there will be a couple of other questions here and there throughout. So we're going to have a look at how I want you to do it. So you're going to get a book. Now, obviously, yours will be on YouTube. So we've got Macca's Christmas crackers. I'm looking at the picture. So I'm guessing that's Macca, and there's his Christmas crackers. So I predict that it is Christmas time. And I'm predicting that Macca, obviously if it says Macca's Christmas crackers, I'm predicting that Macca makes his own Christmas crackers. So what I'll do, I'm going to make two predictions. Okay, so I'm predicting that they will have Christmas. And I'm also predicting that Macca makes his own crackers. All right, so I've made that prediction before I've even started reading, looking at just a picture and the title. So now I'm going to start reading. And then during the reading, we sort of pause and we go, okay, let's make another one. So I'm going to pause about halfway through because in the videos this week, I'm going to tell you when to pause to make more predictions. So here we go. Macca's Christmas crackers. This guy is called Macca. He's an alpaca. He loves to canter and dress up like Santa. Because Christmas is here, the best time of the year. Macca often confessed he was Christmas obsessed. He jingled bells and sang Noels. He decked the halls and floors and walls. Stockings were strung and wreaths were hung. Tinsel was tangled and baubles were dangled. When it came to the tree, not an inch was left free. He scaled new heights with Christmas lights. Let it glow. Okay, so I'm going to pause it there, and then I'm going to make some predictions because that's about halfway. I'm going to sort of pause it there and think, okay, I'm going to make another couple of predictions. So what I'm thinking, okay, so we've gone as Christmas. I'm predicting, it sounds like Macca's really into Christmas and he loves it. So I'm thinking he's going to get a lot of friends around. Okay, so I'm thinking heaps of friends will come. Now, generally in a book, there might be a bit of a problem. Now, I'm thinking that because Macca loves Christmas so much, I'm thinking that somebody may ruin Christmas for Macca. So that's my prediction. So I'm going to say someone ruins Christmas. Okay, so that's my predictions during the reading because I found that out. So because of Macca's love of Christmas, I think he loves it so much that he's going to get all his friends around. And being a bit of a storybook, there's always got to be a problem. So I think that problem will be that somebody ruins Christmas for Macca. So let's read on to find out how we went. Ho, ho, ho! But what Macca loved best of the whole Christmas fest was his reason for living, the spirit of giving. Oh goodness, oh my, there was such to buy. A jet ski for all his daredevil pal. Some dumbbells for Harmer, that muscle-mad llama. For Maxine and Jax, those sax-playing yaks, who love to be cool, an inflatable pool. Alas for our hero, his savings were zero. Macca was fraught, there were gifts to be bought. I need presents fast. He had left shopping till last. Al looked at that frown and calmed Macca down. You don't need to spend anything on a friend. You're a real angel, Al. Macca smiled at his pal. Let's make what we can. So their workshop began. And those clever alpacas made their own Christmas crackers. After Christmas dinner, everyone was a winner. Beaming proudly, little Macca gave each friend a cracker. On the count of 3, gang, and the crackers went 1, 2, 3, bang! Al went flying. Hammer pumped iron. The yaks got all wet. It's the best Christmas yet. Macca sheepishly shrugged, and then they all hugged. The perfect present didn't cost a single cent. Okay. So then now, I'm going to predict what's going to happen after. So after this story, what will sort of happen? And we'll only just make the one prediction for that. But as I said, I want 2 for all the other ones, before and during. But the one after, I think that they will enjoy... They will enjoy the rest of the holidays. Okay. Now there are times there where I may ask you for the evidence. So for example, the heap of friends will come. I may want you to ask the evidence. So remember, my evidence was because Macca's he loves, we'll say, Christmas. Okay, so that's the evidence that I used for him to say that and someone ruins Christmas. The evidence I use for that is my knowledge of a story. So there's got to be a problem. A problem. Okay, so that's the evidence there. The evidence for up here, they'll have Christmas because it said in title. Okay, so that's why I think they'll have Christmas. And Macca makes his own crackers because that's the title of book. Now, if I ask you for evidence, that's what I mean by the evidence. Where did you make that prediction from? Okay. Then we'll look at how did you go. So I don't want you to write down, okay? So we got most of those right except for this one. Somebody didn't ruin Christmas. Okay. The problem in the book was that Macca was stressing that he didn't have any money to buy presents. Al fixed that by telling him you don't need to spend money on presents. It's the thought that counts for friends. Okay, so that was the problem. The resolution was they decided to make the crackers. All right, so then I will write down here. So you'll write down in your books of how you went. Okay, so I got 3 out of the 4, and the one that I got wrong was because of this. Okay, I'm not going to waste my time writing that, but that's going to be your job. You're going to predict. You're going to use pictures, the title. We can't use the blurb because we're going to be watching YouTube. And you're going to use events in the story. You're going to predict before you start reading. 2 predictions. You're going to predict during the reading. You're going to pause, and I'm going to tell you when to pause in the readings. And then go, okay, these are the predictions I'm going to make. And then you're probably going to have to give me evidence of why you've predicted that. And then after, what do you think is going to happen after? If there was maybe even the next book, what will happen after that? And then, how did you go? Yep, I was a bit off. I was right. I was close. Give me a little bit of a summary on how you went with your predictions for the day. Okay, so that is our focus for the week because it's going on from our cause and effects last week because we're looking at mainly the events that happen in the story, and then how we can use those events to predict. Okay, so that is our learning for this week in our reading. We're looking at predictions before, during, and after, and how you went. And there may be a couple other questions here and there for you to answer. So hopefully we have a good week of predictions. Thank you.